Hey everybody, this is Bernadette. Thank you so much for listening today. I'm back in Barcelona after my trip, and I'm here with Ivana. I'm so happy to see you, girl. I didn't talk to you for so long.
Hi, Bernadette. I know it's been so long. It's nice to see you too. You have a nice tan and you're glowing, so you look wonderful. I can, I'm excited to hear a little bit about your trip.
Yeah, there's so much to tell, but you know what? Also, I really like that combination with work and travel together. I don't know. I think a lot of people do this. I was so many times I find somebody with their Apple computer and just sitting there in these beautiful gardens and that's something I really enjoy. I really enjoy. But this trip particular, well, I did a podcast there as well. I had some interviews. It's live if you want to hear it. Go to our website, of course, or you can go to Spotify, Apple, find us and listen to it. But one of the things I did was visiting some companies, some industry. I was invited in silk industry, and yeah, it was an inspiration. Really, it was so good to talk, and I was so surprised about all these opportunities these countries have. It's amazing. So I loved it. I can talk hours from with you about it. But tell me, what's on your table? What did you do lately? Tell me.
Yeah, well, you know what? I would kind of and well, I know that with India, like that's very interesting. Those opportunities that you were talking about, and you had mentioned that a little bit to me, and just listening to the podcast. But for me, like I was thinking about the companies that when we're doing our research, for example, for European Life, and we're looking at where the possibilities are and the type of industries to work with, I was thinking about how do we find these industries and where do we know where to turn to? So I've been doing a little bit of research on where are the major industries in the world and how they, work together. So that's actually one of the topics that I've been kind of like going into.
So what did you find out? I don't know. And you did it research about. Didn't you talk about me? I don't know. When I was in India, we had on the email with this agency who's always having new numbers and new information about it. I don't know, visual capitalist or something.
Oh yes, that's for the resource of what I was looking at.
Right.
So that one, well, I was looking at because you and I have discussed so many times about like technology and the opportunities for looking at businesses in technology and especially within the luxury industry. And I was actually surprised. I know I shouldn't be surprised, but I couldn't believe how much with the US, just how much of the marketplace within the world they dominate within the technology sector. I was actually thinking it was going to be more so on maybe like Asia and Asia, like China or like the Pacific coast of Asia, not the coast, but Pacific Asia. And I was a little bit surprised. Like I was thinking, okay, you know what? Maybe there's some big technology companies that are undiscovered, and it's in contrast to the U.S. I thought it was going to be quite a bit larger, but it's actually not as much. So I thought that was interesting. Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's good to know. And what did you find out about these companies? About the biggest one? I noticed that I know that the United States are by far the biggest, having the big companies. I know, and also with e-commerce, right? Isn't that true? Like Amazon or Alibaba or something like that.
Yeah, definitely. With and the thing is, you know what? I realized that at the end of the day, these companies are all global. And this is kind of what led me down this path as well, is that when I was researching companies for us, where we were looking at the partnerships, I was realizing that there's the companies I was looking at in Europe, a lot of them were headquartered in the US. And so you look at these companies and you look at
Yeah.
them from a global perspective and you think that maybe they originate in one country, and then you come to realize that they're actually like a subsidiary of another company. So it's trying to always find, trying to like really find that roadmap of where that company started, how they started. There's actually
Yeah.
a lot more research that goes into it when you're trying to make these connections and to explore these opportunities. Just
Yeah.
thinking for entrepreneurs who are looking for opportunities, looking at the size of the corporation and how many subsidiaries they have
Yeah.
as well throughout the world.
No, and I think also, first of all, I love to see these movies about, for example, success stories. About the guys from Facebook, or about Jack Ma from Alibaba. I don't know if you ever heard that story, but I love the story from Alibaba. That's ridiculous.
No, I
This man
haven't.
is so successful. And actually, the whole village are helping. It's like I don't know, sort of fairy tale. And he only started in 1999, which is, to me, that's like yesterday. This guy is so successful, and it's a great story. So, yeah, it's always nice to go back in the beginning of that company and see how it all started. Probably with two people in a garage, just starting it up, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, and it's also good knowledge if how these companies are built actually. For example, this Alibaba also have a Taibo. I don't know if you know that, but it's a C2C actually, and you have a Tmall, which is more B2C, is a sort of Amazon, also all from the same owner of Alibaba. So yeah, that's good knowledge.
Oh,
Good to know. Yeah,
I
yeah.
really didn't know that. And do you care to share a little bit about that, like with how they started?
Well, they are actually this guy. First of all, he told me that which was also funny. He applied for jobs many times and nobody wants to have him, and he was very annoyed by that and very sad about it. And then he worked with the government for a while in trade, I think. But the first website he had was a website information about China, and from there he just get to know more about the whole what you can do with the website and the opportunities and the networking. And then in 1999 he started Alibaba with 17 friends and colleagues, and it was growing from day one. And he found out that as soon as he came up, that a lot of investors want to know more about China and how to invest there, how to start companies there. And yeah, and then he started Alibaba, and it's now these three websites are actually the most visited websites in the world.
Oh, which ones? Alibaba and
So Taibo, that's the C2C company he has, and also Tmall. So he has three websites, or he has more companies than that, but these are the three most visited website in the world. How successful can you
wow.
be? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's fascinating.
and for me, this whole guy, I don't know. I love it to read these success stories and see these movies, and I really actually encourage everybody to do so. You know why? Because it's a big inspiration. It gives you a lot of energy, and to see, like, I don't know. It's not that I think I can have an Alibaba tomorrow, but it's still, like, okay, I can do it. It gives me a lot of energy, and so this inspiration I also saw back in my trip in India when I talk to these entrepreneurs, the owners of these factories. It helps. They tell their story. It was also a very weird story with four brothers having together made that factory, and then for the first time, not even long ago, like 3 years ago, they had their first client abroad, which was in China, and they flew to Shanghai for the first time outside of the countries. I'm like, wow, for the first time, when is it still happening? So no, it's a great inspiration to read
Definitely,
other stories and know the history of big companies. I think it's very
definitely.
important. So,
I think it opens up the door to understand also the potential, like the possibilities that are out there for the company within their own company or an organization, or even as an entrepreneur, of what's possible in terms of growth. Because, like, as you were mentioning with Alibaba, one of the interesting things, and for me, I hope it doesn't sound ignorant, but when I think of Alibaba, the first thing that comes to my mind is drop shipping. All of the mass products that they can
yeah, yeah,
sell to small entrepreneurs, and then the entrepreneurs can drop ship it all around the world and sell them. I thought that was primarily the function, but when I was actually speaking to a client, she had mentioned that she has her own line of, it's wine, so liquor, And Alibaba was looking at the possibility of exporting her wine globally, even though she's within China. And I thought it was interesting because I didn't really know that's an opportunity as well. So you think like as a company, if you're looking to expand your business, you think you're maybe limited in certain ways, but these big corporations have so many other lines of their like what they offer in terms of their services that you wouldn't even know of unless you're actually doing that kind of digging and to see like what the opportunity is. You really do have to do that research.
And I think it's so much easier to get in a company than you think. I mean, of course, we have LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn, but also, you just find them, and then before you know it, I'm just get an invitation for the owner of a big corporation. I don't say that the owners of Amazon will knock on my door, but by going out there and find them on LinkedIn or try to find people working there, you get closer and closer, and it helps you to grow your own company, I think. And also
exactly
the opportunities you got from these companies and from this market, I think it's so much more if you go out there and find them by social media or any other way. To be honest, I think every entrepreneur out there, give yourself a trip to a country which you're interested in, and find yourself to make some interviews from some entrepreneurs, or see if you can have a factory or a company you're interested in, find out if you can have a meeting there, and really go there and just meet the people and talk to them face to face, and they remember you. It gives you a lot of opportunities, I think, and it helps you grow as an entrepreneur. I mean, I think I love it to do it, really.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that there's a lot of opportunity that way. And these companies, they grow so fast. If you think about like how much Amazon has, especially since the pandemic and everything has been shut down, Amazon, the growth that they had, the billions, like 100 billion, over, I think 100 billion in revenue within the last just few years. More than that, not revenue, I apologize, but in terms of Bezos and his net worth, actually, is what I'm really referring to. But you think about how quickly that technology expands and grows, and then you think about in competition what other companies are doing to remain competitive in ways that they can provide their services. There is so much potential out there in terms of how it can help other entrepreneurs and finding out how they can utilize these businesses. So it is very interesting. It's always important to really dig and look globally from a global perspective, not just within your own country, to see what opportunities there could be.
And I think also that if you go out there and you see other people, and you kind of see new markets and talk to people who are on this market, you find out that there are so much more opportunities for yourself in investing or in partnerships or corporations, that I think it's so worth to go out, do your research, find the market, find the people, the big names, read the success stories, do it, because it gives you so much energy, and it makes it's such, mostly it's a positive story. Yeah, so it really helps. So I think I think that's probably, to me, that's the most important thing in knowing these numbers. What you said about your research, about all these countries, where is the biggest companies, who are the biggest companies, who are the most interesting countries there. To know this gives you the opportunity also to, design your own journey, and reach out to the people who matters to you, or having the stories that gives you that energy, or finding these opportunities. So that's I think the most important thing by doing your research in the market.
Definitely, especially when you can apply it after doing nice traveling like you did, and and speaking to people directly. Definitely, I think that's where the most value comes out of it, because we can all sit at our computer and do our research, but when you're there in person talking to people, and it brings such real value to it. I think that's fascinating. I wish I was there with you.
I always have to hold myself back, because with the whole opportunity of having your own silk industry, I see a new business on every corner, to be honest. Because when I'm traveling, then I think, oh, I can do it, because then, you see, I can sell silk in Europe or in Africa or to the royal family, or make it, hype it, I hype it as a new textile. It's so, and also it's, I think it's very sustainable, the silk, it's just like the wool from the ship. It's coming from the animal going into the factory. The whole thing was very, very sustainable.
Yeah.
I think that should be very interesting these days, right? I think so.
Yes, you know what? I do know of a mother-daughter that I actually met. This was over a year ago, and they actually go to India personally to have to work with one of the textile companies that produce their clothing online, baby clothing, and the quality of the clothing is so much better than, just like the kind of garments it's made from. It's very unique from other markets. So even without like any advertising, her company does extremely well. And they've done very basic promotion. And so we were discussing, if they actually step that up with advertising, how much the business can grow. And what people really love about it is that it's very unique. It's not what they see every day. So she took very modern concept of, the type of baby kind of clothes that they have in the UK, but then the garments and the textiles that is used is so unique that that's what's really driving that sales. So it's interesting, when you mention that, you think about like how many people are not seizing those kind of opportunities. And her mom go to India every year to twice a year to select the garments and the textiles and to work with them. So it's fascinating. If people.
I saw dresses there. I see on the red carpet, which I know they are going for 4,000, 5,000 euro easily. And they are sold there for not even 50 euro. And I'm like, wow. They are so beautiful. Wow, it should be. I'm not a very fashion girl. I'm sorry, but I saw the opportunity. I thought, wow, that's. But I the year before I went to Vietnam. I love the countries where there are a lot of opportunities and there are still interesting, factories or companies, and you can easily visit them. Everybody, for me, I easily, because they're always interested in European life, so I could just knock on the door and say, "Hey, like to talk to you," and I go there, and so I'm sitting there having lunch with the most interesting people. And I will encourage everybody, give yourself a trip, go to a country you never knew before. Or maybe the opportunities could be in Asia, but could also be in Eastern Europe, I think. Also there are still a lot of opportunities, I think, lying on the street, and you find them, and you're not finding them behind your computer. You have to go there. You have to find the people, reach out, and that's the way to do it. Do you investing or go for it?
Having the conversations, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
So, well, I think that's a great topic to end this week. And I would probably we talk some more about it, or we go to other countries and keep you posted how much opportunities we find around the way. So for now, I hope you find your opportunities and your inspiration this week, and we helped you a little bit. If you have any questions, you want to say something, go to our website or give us an email with podcast@EuropeanLifeMedia.com. And for now, I wish you all a great weekend, and I hope we gave you a little bit more inspiration for the days to come. I talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you for listening today. Please subscribe and share this podcast. Do you have a question or a story to share? Please find us at podcast@EuropeanLifeMedia.com.